Welcome back to Hunting the Haunted here on the Paranormal Network, where we dissect and discuss famous, infamous, and not so well-known cases of paranormal activity, ranging from hauntings to alien abductions and Bigfoot sightings. I am your co-host, Jason Hewlett.
And I'm Peter Renn. This week, we are going to be looking at top 6 bogus, fake, absolute bollocks videos that have been produced on media in relation to fake ghosts.
Thank you all for watching Hunting the Haunted, and I ask that if you enjoy our shows, please subscribe to our channel right now, like this video, and click on the bell, notified each time a new video goes up. Now back to the show. And they're not just fake ghosts, they're presented as real ghosts, but they're obviously fake.
Yeah, there's blatant reasons why we are skeptical about their authenticity.
And we will get into that very shortly. But all these videos have kind of gone viral or gained some form of notoriety on the internet, even in the news. And even though, and like we said, we got to question their validity, right, Peter? So why are videos like this dangerous when it comes to depicting paranormal activity?
Well, it's funny because you get these videos and they are, obviously like majority of them are staged and then they're published onto media, but none of them, like the viewers just see it as gospel, like they absorb what they see, and that's what makes it popular. And I honestly think that I'm in the wrong field or trade, because I should be generating fake videos and just publishing it on YouTube, put a few hashtags by the side of it, and I'll be a millionaire. I
know, right? I kind of feel, I've missed that mark because I want to be honest and serious about what we do here.
I know. Well, we I guess there's no justice in being honest.
Oh, none, brother, none. Well, none. Let's get started here. I'm going to kick things off with the first of my 3 videos, because we're each doing 3. And this one is about a man getting dragged across a gym floor by an invisible force. And this came out during the summer and got a lot of attention. So let's give it a watch.
And trying to get some exercise. As you can see, he appears to be completely alone, just standing in front of the mirror, getting a stretch in. Though in the background, you can see some hanging straps appear to be swinging by themselves. Now, this isn't necessarily paranormal, for a strong AC or even the man using them prior could explain this. Though it's worth noting, he does appear to have just put his stuff down.
So, first thing, out the gate, the video is edited, and then when they're actually at the part where they skip and fast forward, it appears that he walks over there.
Yeah, exactly, right.
And then obviously, because the video, without having any digital software or anything like that to slow it down, he may have touched the straps. But anyway,
and then let's carry on. Edited it out in the final video.
It's edited as well, right? There isn't like a full duration of what he was supposed to be doing. But anyway, let's carry on, and we perhaps get to the bottom of it.
That's right.
The man seems completely unaware of the swinging straps behind him, though he is looking directly into the mirror. But as he continues his stretch, he turns to check his bag, perhaps to check the time or look at a text. But what happens next is truly terrifying.
Truly terrifying.
But then he reacts as if something touches the back of his neck. As he begins to walk towards the medicine balls, one of them appears to roll over to him on his own. The man immediately panics and attempts to grab his things and leave. When this happens, the man appears to have his legs yanked right from underneath him and is dragged by an unseen force several feet before he is let go. He gets up immediately in a panic.
Because that happens all the time in paranormal activity.
All of his belongings behind.
Why can't I ever find investigations where that happens to someone?
As you can see,
I know, right?
Here's a second video of the same incident, captured by another security camera. In this video, we'll get a different angle and a much more drawn out sequence of events. So hopefully this will explain a little more.
Okay, edit it again.
In this video, it confirms that the man enters alone, sets his belongings down, and begins his stretch and workout. As he continues, he is attacked and dragged by something. We also get to see him running down the stairs in a panic right to the reception desk, where he is clearly shaken up, trying to explain what just happened. This video is creepy, and whether it's real or not, I always leave it up to you to decide. So let me know what you think down in the comments below.
All right. What, I've seen enough, Peter.
Yeah. I guess, like, if you're looking at it and, giving the guy some kind of compassion, if it was indeed an event that happened, that is beyond the most compelling piece of evidence of paranormal that I've ever seen.
The fact that it was conveniently captured on TikTok, makes it even more compelling.
It was captured, and he was able to do some gymnastics during the whole rehearsal of him falling across the floor.
Which, I mean, it's easy. It's hard to stage, but you can still do it. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. Yeah. Like, people put a lot of thought into these videos in hopes of it going viral and becoming famous. And that automatically, when you see it that way, has to make you question what you're seeing. There could have been something attached to his leg that pulled him, someone off camera could have pulled him across, that was digitally removed. There's just so many ways this could have been fake. Even, like you say, good gymnastics or body manipulation, right? Like,
but then you look on the other side of that as well. It's a gym as well. I don't know how they would have felt about video footage going out to media of a commercial building, but
I don't even know if it went out to media. I think he just posted it and people picked it up. You know what I mean?
How did he post it, though? He wouldn't have been able to get a copy from the gym, would he?
Yeah, or he set up his own camera in the corner and just rolled, right? Like, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's just too much BS at play here for my liking to take this as anything serious. It's neat to look at, but yeah.
Well, it's on the flip side of that, it is tough to disprove it, on a kind of on a skeptical sense of what went on there because the ball moved and stuff like that. But then, there are ways that that things like that could have happened, and that goes across the board, across pretty much most of the videos that have been released. But no, there's too much doubt on this as well.
Absolutely. Well, what's your first one, Peter?
So my first one has been published. I believe it was published in the early part of 2020, which shows a young lady, an individual who is obviously doing some kind of promotion on media for a product, or she's trying to do something for YouTube. And then what appears, the curtain starts to flicker. To me, it looked like wind. And then she just got up and decided that she wanted to punch it, whatever's there, which kind of, just makes me think of her sanity more than anything else.
That's a good way to look at it, because, if it was wind, why would you punch it?
I know. I guess I have a nice pair of boxing gloves behind me.
Yep.
And I think that we should consider perhaps using them when we go ghost hunting.
Next. Yes, I think that's a great idea. We'll just punch the spirits.
Punch the spirits in the ghoulies. That will knock them on. That will knock them on the floor.
So for today's drink,
I don't think it's staged. I just think that she has just witnessed a gust of wind blowing that curtain, to be honest with you.
And decided to put it on the internet as a ghost video?
Yeah, and she feels it's a ghost. Maybe the fact, because you see that it looked like a lump come up at the mid part of the curtain, but to me that there's nothing really paranormal about that. That's just wind taking the curtain. So whether there's a crease that's in the curtain, when whether it's a new curtain and there's still a crease in there, which if you blew a curtain to that size and it fluffed up, there will still be that indent on the curtain where the crease is still lying on there. So there is that to think of, but I think that honestly she's misinterpreted it as a spirit or ghost. I don't think it's staged, but I still question why that she wanted to smack the 7 bells of crap out of the ghost as well.
We'll just leave that to psychiatrists.
Yeah.
It's not our specialty.
Yeah, well, we'll leave that for the loony bin.
So for today's drink,
Well, I got another one here. And this video is one of a series of videos credited to the pantry ghost. And someone even went so far as to make a documentary about it, which is now on Amazon. And that's actually how I came across this video, although they were quite popular, sort of in the 2000s. The filmmaker alleges the family would wake up every morning to find the pantry door open when it was closed the night before. So, of course, he set up a camera because that's what you do. So let's give this pantry ghost video a watch. Kind of startling at first. It's a good little jump scare that's there. But what do you think, Peter?
So the basic overview is that the guy proclaims that there's activity going on in his house, and he decided that he wanted to pick up a camera and film his pantry for whatever reason. I did get a certain way into the documentary, and I kind of mentally fell asleep, so I didn't watch the rest of it. So I don't know the full reason why that he decided that he wanted to fill that particular pantry, so forth. What kind of jumps out to me more than anything else, it's actually at the point where he looks inside the pantry and then he shuts the door. You can actually see the shadow of that person standing there behind the door.
Yeah.
And you can, like, on the right hand side of the glass, like as we're visualizing it, the door swings around and there is someone standing behind the door, and there is also a break during the time when he's actually shutting the door. You could see that there's a second where it appears that it jumps, the sequencing of the footage jumps slightly. I'm pointing into perspective that I honestly believe that it was staged, and I have 100% certain that it's been staged, because he would have seen something when he would have been in that closet. There wouldn't have been something appearing or manifesting just as he was shutting the door, and you wouldn't have seen it beyond the glass. I think it's absolute garbage. I think it's a pile of crap. Yeah, it's staged.
And I agree. Like, well, watching, like I said, at first you kind of catch it and it's a bit startling. But I sat through the whole documentary, and it was just, when you look at it in that context too, they were trying to build up something to create, you know what I mean? It was like, first it started off as these little viral videos that got a lot of attention. So they just took it and ran with it and created a documentary building up this BS story that they kind of drew into like this Blair Witch kind of, hoping probably for a Blair Witch kind of redo in terms of making this phenomenon. But yeah, everything you pointed out, Peter, I saw as well. And the fact that they did many of them, you know, invited other people in and filmed it all. I don't know. This came in the early days of the internet when fakes weren't as prevalent, but it's probably one of the better attempts.
So there's two other factors that just as a kind of a characteristic that humans have, regardlessly, you get these paranormal investigators that say, I don't fear ghosts or anything like that. It's a natural reaction for anyone to be scared of when they see something like that. Like, first of all, his reaction is that he goes, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then secondly, he opens the closet back up again, or the cupboard again. Like, if that was me or you, and I've been doing this probably a lot longer than most of the guys that have been publishing this crap on the internet, if I'd seen that, I would have run out the building and I would have probably dropped all my equipment as well.
Mm-hmm. It would have been an oh my God. It would have been like, I'm out of here.
It would, and it's with things like this, like with the editing software you can have now, it's pretty much flawless. Like, you can make something look very much authentic. But what I generally look at the most is the human reaction to things like that. And if that was me and that was legitimately something behind that glass, I wouldn't have gone a second time to open that cupboard up. I would have just got out of my house and run away, and probably having the guts to go back later with paranormal team or whatever once I get I've grounded myself. But and the second point is, I wouldn't have gone back into that cupboard. No, I don't think any normal human being would have.
Nope, I agree. All right, what's your second one, Peter?
Okay, my second one is a video of ghost hunters driving through Gettysburg. They're driving through with just their spotlight on, and in this particular scene, they're driving through. Basically, there's a set of cannons by the side of the road, and there appears to be an apparition walking adjacent to the cannons and basically disappears off of the camera.
Okay, well, that can be any number of things causing that to happen. Someone walking by, a trick of the light.
The underlying factor is that the picture, the camera quality is bad, but obviously it doesn't discount the fact that there was something that was picked up on the camera, and it appeared to be on the other side of the camera. So there's no fault with the camera whatsoever. What is significant about that particular footage is the fact it is raining, and there is drizzle on top of the windshield already, and it's the characteristics of the way that image walks across the screen is as if there's water running down the windshield, as you guys call it. It's 100% not paranormal. It's just water. It's produced more light from the reflection of the spotlight from the car. That's it.
That's a perfectly logical explanation. And it's people, I think, in these circumstances, getting just caught up in the moment. You're in like we've talked about this before. You're in a place that terrible things happen. There's lots of stories about it being haunted, and then you're tricked by something, a trick of the light, and you think you see a ghost, and that happens to people all the time.
There is hundreds of alleged sightings and paranormal experiences around this site, and I'm not discounting for 1 minute. It's all been thought up, but with this, it's just water running down a windshield. That's all it is.
That's awesome. See, and that's an easy solve here.
Case closed.
Case closed. Now for my final video. It's called Japanese Ghost Girl in Mirror. Pretty sure everybody has seen it by now, so let's take one more quick look before we hash this one out.
女の子が母親の方を向き、一瞬鏡の方へ振り返った。その次の瞬間、右側の鏡に映り込んだ女の子のみが睨みつけるようにこちらを向いている。
じゃ
この鏡は母親が知人から譲り受けた古いものだという。
So what do you think, Jay?
Well, I mean, I think this is one of the first real ghost videos that went viral. We've seen this kind of thing many times before. I mean, it could be it's a digital. It's not real. It's a digital enhancement, as far as I'm concerned. Or it could even easily be a mirror, to trick with the mirror. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't. Japan's got a long history of hauntings and ghosts. It's interesting how after The Grudge came out, they all look like the ghosts from The Grudge or The Ring, which is what this sort of looks like. But I think it's a camera trick.
I think that video was published before that series of movies came out. I'll be interested to hear what that guy is saying during the footage. But yeah, you're right. It's things like that. It's just it could you can use digital software to replicate that easily.
Yeah. And I mean, we've seen people do it and create even better sort of version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Videos since. So,
but you're right. It does kind of fall under that image that the like Asia as a continent has in relation to ghosts. People, or particularly children, have black eyes, that kind of thing, and it falls under that folklore, I guess.
Yeah, black eyes, long hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's quite well documented. So yeah, I kind of figured. I know you were excited to talk about that one there. What you got? One more, Peter?
I've saved the best for last. So what we have here is a nanny cam that has gone off or has been alerted to the parents, and there appears to be an apparition floating past the camera. They have had numerous experiences in this house, which I believe at one point they related this to as a demon. In relation to this particular footage, what is interesting is the way where the baby or the toddler's looking, which direction. Like as this is happening, the toddler or the baby is looking a completely different way. With infrared cameras, they do have the ability to reflect images at certain points, and the characteristics of that image did suit at that time the outline of the person, the guy that they interviewed on the show as well. So I honestly believe, specifically with this image itself, if it's not a reflection, it's actually filmed someone being picked up on camera, just purely by the quality of the film itself and the quality of the camera as well. Like nanny cams they're not very sophisticated in regard to definition for the pixels and stuff like that, and you don't get particularly high quality. I've used these type of cameras before on investigations, and I've had similar images that coexist to what we have here. Secondly, another thing about it as well is the news report itself, which is hilarious. So we have a family that basically explained to us that the house has had numerous activity, and it's there's allegedly demons in there and stuff like that, but they still live there. And there's one particular thing that happened where the baby got scratched and the woman got scratched as well. And I'm sorry, if any of my kids got scratched in any environment like that, I'd rather live on the streets than live in a house like that.
Exactly, you're endangering your family and your children.
Exactly. So, and then there was kind of the icing on the cake. I guess the last point being is that they a part of the section was an interview with an actual paranormal investigator as well, and he proclaimed that there was a suicide where a guy allegedly threw himself out the window from the first floor. But then when you look at the video footage of the first floor and where that window was, it's about a 5 foot drop to the floor.
You're not going to die from a 5 foot drop.
No, unless that guy, when he threw himself out the window, he did like cartwheels and backflips, and he elevated to quite a distance in the air. Even if you were to land on your neck, to a certain degree, I don't think that height you'd be able to kill yourself.
No, Not at 5 feet. You might hurt yourself, potentially paralyze yourself, but you're not going to kill yourself.
Yeah, you're not going to kill yourself out. And I don't think that they really thought that out too much when they did the news report, unless I'm totally missing the bus on something.
Well, no, and I mean, I worked in media. I know how it works. You got a sensational story. Maybe it's around Halloween when you're broadcasting. You know what I mean? You roll with it, right? And this stuff's popular, which is why we're here doing this right now. Anyways, there you go. 6 videos that we think are bollocks in terms of we have contempt for them.
Bollocks?
Picking up on your lingo, Peter. That wraps up this episode of Hunting the Haunted. We'll be back next month with another investigation. Until then, thank you for watching our show. Please give us a like, leave a comment, and hit the bell to receive updates on all our great content. We're an independent company, and we appreciate your support. Until then, I'm Jason Hewlett.
And I'm Peter Renn, and stay spooky.